Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just jumping on here to do a quick video, or I was working on one of my envelope journals and I figured I would bring you guys along because someone had asked how I sewed in the envelopes on the mini journal that I did. I don't remember if they asked on this video or if it was on this video, but I sew them in exactly the same way that I do my big ones. So when I started to sew these in, I got to thinking about, that's crazy that I have not shown y'all this again. So we're going to try it. I don't know how long the video will last because my phone has been going crazy. I have the iPhone 12 Pro Max and it overheats like crazy. And so when it does, it will shut off. But so yeah, that's where we're at. This is the journal that I have got prepared. And I'm hoping it's not doing slow-mo because it looks like it is. Maybe it's not, I don't know. But it's sure looking like it is. So hopefully it's gonna do right. I don't know, we shall see. We're gonna pretend like it is and hopefully. Anyway, this is the journal that I am working on. It's 4.5 inches wide and it is 7 inches tall. This was from a paper pad that I picked up from Michael's, I believe it is. And I love the colors of it. So that's where I'm at right now. I've got the 1.5 inch spine in it. And so I've done 5 envelopes. I've done them on my envelope punch. And then what I've already done is I've put some Tyvek tape down where I'm going to be sewing so that it'll reinforce that spine there, but you can't see it on the outside. And then I went ahead and put some score tape down to seal it whenever after I get it sewn in, because you don't sew these in until, or you don't close these until after they're sewn in. So make sure that's one of the big things. I believe that was one of the questions that was asked. So what I'm doing right now, I just crease that down real good with my bone folder. And I'm gonna close this. And so what I make is I just take some of the little papers, the little strip, and I make like some envelope closures there so that the flaps do not get messed up. So I am going to attempt to remove this backing. So it is crazy, nasty looking outside right now. It is Friday evening here. But I don't know if any of you guys or how many of you are on my in my Facebook group, but you will see that I posted about the hurricane. We are in full hurricane prep right now because all of the spaghetti models have it coming straight to us, and right now it's just a cat 1. I do apologize for my dogs. I don't even know what to do with them, but right now Elsa is just a cat 1, and it can be a cat 1 all the way up until it hits landfall or makes landfall. That's what Hurricane Michael did. Michael was one of those that people underestimated because it was sitting out there in the Gulf. It was just a cat 1, and here in Florida, we went through so many Category 1 hurricanes. I'm so sorry about my dogs. They do not like the weather when it's like this. But yeah, we went through so many Category 1 hurricanes that, to us, that's just like a little rainstorm. So I think that's what a lot of people were expecting with Hurricane Michael. And just like right before it made landfall, that thing, it took on a mind of its own. And it made landfall, I guess, about 70 miles from here. And the devastation it's still to this day, it's just unbelievable. And that was a weird one. Here in Tallahassee, you know, like I said, we get hurricanes. I've been dealing with hurricanes since, you know, I was born, pretty much. We've always known this time of year we're gonna get hurricanes, and it's just part of it. But that one was very weird for us here in Tallahassee, because normally for us a hurricane, you know, it brings a lot of rain, but that one was a dry hurricane for us. And that was the most odd thing I can remember. At the time that Hurricane Michael hit, I lived in a big 2-story brick home. And so a bunch of my children were there, and you know, we had a lot of family there staying with us because our home was safe. And I can remember when it hit, like you could physically see when the hurricane hit, and it was just wind. It was nothing more than wind for us. And it was the weirdest thing because that's not anything that we are accustomed to with hurricanes. And it took down a massive tree in my front yard. Yep, so we're just getting prepared. You know, we don't know how it's going to be. We never do. That's the one thing with storms like that, you just never know. Now I have a template that I have made, and I actually made this. This is a piece of the little cutting board that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. So it's a very thin plastic, and this is what I use for my my template, and it works wonders. Now I found in doing my template, I don't know how I done it, but somehow I have my holes a little different. And so what I do is I use the top one to mark, and I can do this with the marker because it's not going to show. And then I just kind of mark where I want the second and third one to go, and then I just bring that template down, and that way I use the exact same hole configuration. So it just makes it a little bit easier when I go to punch the holes. So I'm just trying to line that up, and I'm just gonna do this again. Now you can do this with pencil or whatever, but like I said, you're punching those holes out, so you're not gonna see it. So I don't mind doing it like this. And then I just use my Crocodile, my Big Bite. And I apologize because I know this is probably going to make some racket. And I do apologize, but this will only be just a minute. And this is, I've found this is just the quickest and easiest way for me to do my holes. And so I'll just go ahead and do all of my holes at one time. And this is all I'm doing. And again, I apologize for the racket. I know it's loud. I am surprised that my dogs are not. It looks like I might have got off a little bit on that, but it is what it is. It'll be covered up anyway because I normally cover my spine after I sew the signatures in or the envelopes in. I'll normally cover the spine with a contrast paper. So it's not a huge deal if I get it off, but it looks like those are pretty pretty even there. Let me get these out of the way in my little garbage can. Now I need to look and remember what is the back. So this looks like this is the front. This looks like that's the way it goes up. So I'm going to move that to my bigger hole, and I'm actually going to do a hole right about middle ways, because that's where I am going to put my little eyelet in, because I use that for my elastic closure. And now I just need to take that up, and I need to place my eyelet. And there we go. So that much, to me, that's the hardest part of the entire thing, and that's already done. So now it's literally just starting to sew in the envelopes. So I need to figure out how I want to sew them in, like what color. And this is where I never can make a good decision, so we're just going to use it like that, and we're going to say done. Yep. Let me get my awl. And now on this, to sew these in, this is just, for me, this is the easiest way that I have found to do it. I just bend the envelope over backwards, and then I just line it up where I want it to sit on the in the book, and then I just simply mark where each hole is. Okay, so that's what we got there. Now let's go ahead and get our thread ready. And again, I'm just using whatever thread I had up here, because I'm going to be covering the spine, so it doesn't matter. If you are not going to cover your spine, you know, then you can pick a thread that matches or contrast, you know, whichever one you want. And so I normally, and it is a little bit of a waste of the thread, but I normally do 3 times the length of whatever it is that I'm sewing in. I would rather have too much thread when I'm sewing them in than not have enough. So it's just approximately. So I got me 5 strands there, and I'm gonna just cut those. I'm gonna come down here to this end and cut. All right, and set those over to the side. And then I normally just keep this little thing right here in my desk drawer. It's got some of the beeswax, and I keep a needle in it, and it's just, it makes it easy for me, excuse me, whenever I go to do a journal. It's just right there. I don't have to look for the needle or the wax. I really hope this is not doing slow time, because it almost looks like it is. Like it's jumping on the screen up there. Because I cast, whenever I'm doing the videos, I always cast to the big TV that's in my craft studio, so that I can see if I'm in frame, or, you know, what have you. And it's very jumpy. So I'm not sure. But the last few videos that I've tried to do, when I would go to upload them or edit, they would start off playing just perfect, and then all of a sudden they would just go into slow-mo, which I don't understand, because I don't even touch my phone when I'm recording. Like, there's nothing I'm touching that, you know, I could see if I was holding it or something, and that maybe I hit something that put it into slow mode, but I don't. Okay, so now I'm just going to thread my needle here, and to me this is the easiest part, is actually sewing the envelopes in. And so I always want to check, and I still have to poke the holes, duh. I do make sure I have everything up facing the direction that I want, and so I just take and I bend it, I fold it slightly so that I can make sure that the hole goes in that valley, and then I just poke slightly through where I put the marks. And because I have that Tyvek tape there, which you're not going to see the Tyvek when I get done with the journal, but that Tyvek just gives it a little bit more stability to where it's not going to tear. And so I'm just doing the simple, what is it? I don't even know I don't even know the proper names of the stuff. I just know that it's the 3 stitches. For some reason, I keep thinking maybe they call it saddle stitch, but you know, I really don't know. So I'm not even gonna act like I know and try and tell y'all something. I don't know. This is just the 3 stitch method. How about that? That's all I know. And so you go in the middle, I come out the top, then I go down to the bottom, then I go back in the middle, and I want to bring it through that middle hole. But I want to make sure that I bring it on the other side of that long one. Make sure you do not go through the thread, because if you do, you can't tighten it. And then I just tighten it really good, give it a nice good tug. And then I tie one knot, pull it again, and then I tie another knot, and I pull it real good. Now, if you were doing a signature of like papers, you could leave these tails on the where you sewed it in, and then you could hang some dangles. But you know, this is going to be hidden in the journal, so it's not going to make a difference. It's going to be hidden in the envelope. So now I'm just taking off the backing on the score tape. And these little things right here are a lifesaver. I picked these up at Dollar Tree. You can get 2 of them in a pack for $1. And they work wonderful for this. So I've got the stuff off the score tape, and then I just pull it up, and boom. And then I'm gonna tuck that flap in there. So see, you can already see our journal coming together, and actually, that actually matches pretty good. Okay, so let's do the same thing with the next envelope. And you can see that this goes pretty quickly. It's it doesn't take a lot of time. And again, I just line it up where it needs to sit. I mark where the holes are. I get my little awl, fold it slightly to make sure I get it in that valley, and then I just poke through just slightly. And that's it. And so it's time to sew again. And I'm just looking outside. I have a window right directly in front of my craft studio table, and it is looking so nasty. And I don't even know that the hurricane has made it all the way into the Gulf yet. I think it's still down, I don't know, south of Cuba maybe. Who knows? I know at work today, our EOC went into level 2 status. So that means, because with where I work, it's not just a hurricane hitting. You know, we have inmates that we have to look out for and worry about and make sure that they're safe and taken care of, and so that their families, because you know their families worry. And we want to make sure that they are safe and well and out of the path. So we have a lot to worry about whenever a hurricane comes our way. Alright, and so I just done the same thing, went back through, I'm pulling it, tagging it tight. I'm going to tie it, and then tie it again. peeled this off again. And let me tell you, before I picked these things up from Dollar Tree the other day, this was miserable, me trying to pull the backing off of the score tape. I mean, it was awful, you guys. Because number one, I can't hardly see it. And then it was just, it's so small. And then it just did not want to cooperate with me, no matter how I tried to persuade it. Yeah, it was not good. And then I just bring it up. Everything's fitting good, and there we go. We got another one. And somehow, I think I got them a little too far down, but I think it's going to be okay. So, and I do have some Photoshop videos that I have to get done. But like I said, I've recorded a couple, and then it's not like I could even really do a voiceover, because I tried to speed it up, and I was like, okay, I can speed it up. Maybe I can get it to the normal and just do a voiceover. But it never would, I don't know, it just never would speed up properly. And that's the other weird thing, like when I go to watch it in my camera roll, it looks fine. But I don't know. I don't have a clue. I'm not even gonna act like I do, because I would just be making something up. Which I can make something up if y'all want me to, but so while I'm doing this, I do want to thank you all for subscribing and supporting my YouTube channel. I am truly overwhelmed. And I do have a couple of thank yous. I had some wonderful ladies do the buy me a coffee. And I have it written down. Just so, really, I am blown away by your kindness and your support. And that y'all watch even through the dogs barking. It's starting to thunder and they cannot handle it. But, yeah, so like I said, I'm so blown away by the way you guys have just embraced me and supported me. You will never, ever, ever know what that has meant to me. And my buddy Chelle, of course, you know, I know that she is part of it, because I know a lot of you guys follow my best friend Chelle, and then as well as Miss Edith over at Scrapbooking with Me. And I tell Miss Edith that Melina and Alicia are her biological children, and I'm her unlogical child. That's me. So, yeah, I thank you all so much. Thank you to Chelle for sending her viewers over, and thank you to Miss Edith and Melina for sending your viewers over. I know neither one of you have to do anything like that. I know you viewers don't even have to do it, even if they suggest it. So, you know, I don't want you to think that I'm thinking it's all them. I know it's you guys are just that amazing. But I'm just very appreciative of it. Honestly, my goal, I just don't know when I can, because I have to figure out health insurance options. But my goal is to quit my job with corrections, because, and I love my job. Let me tell you, I love my job. It's crazy. It's hectic. It's insane. But I love it. But I really do want to be able to quit there, so that I can focus on more designing and more tutorials. I love to teach. I love teaching. I love learning. I've always, back when my girls were little, homeschooled / run a private school with my girls when they were little. I started out homeschooling them, and then I had so many people come to me and say, hey, can you homeschool my kids? And I don't know what the laws are in the state of Florida now, because I haven't stayed on top of it. But I know at that time, you could homeschool your own children, but you could not homeschool other people's children. And so I had so many people asking me to homeschool their children, and I couldn't do it. But I understood where they were coming from. So I went and got all of my, everything I needed, and the education that I needed, and the training that I needed, and my sister-in-law and I opened a private Christian school. And we run that, until she passed away, and then I continued to run it for about 5 or 6 years after she passed away, and then it was just too much for me, too many memories. They were good memories, and you know, I probably should have kept it going, but it was just, I couldn't. So I've always been a teacher at heart, and I'm the same way at work. Whenever I train, when I'm training people on a job, I will not just tell them, okay, this is what you do. I will give them an idea of what they need to do, and then when they make the decision to do it, I'm like, okay, I said, you know, are you sure? Is that what? And they may be completely right, but I want them to have the confidence when they say, okay, this is what I'm going to do with this case. I want them to be confident in their decision, that they know what they're doing. Don't just give me that answer because you think that's the answer I need or I want. Nope. So that's how I train at work, is through like a teaching type style. But in doing that, it makes them have to, they have to research to get their answer. They know that I'm not going to give them the answer. I absolutely am not. They'll come to me and they'll say, okay, we got this case and we're sending it to risk. And you're like, okay, that's good. So why are you sending it to risk? You know, oh, because it's this. And I'm like, okay, and is that, you know, is that type of case one that goes to risk? Oh, well, I don't know. And it could very well be. I want them to be confident in their decision. When they say this case goes to risk, I want them to know that case goes to risk. And I want them to be able to say, yep, it goes to risk, and this is why it's going to risk. I'll be like, okay, cool, good job. And most of the time, I don't even have to give them anything. They answer their questions themselves. So, but yeah, like even with the Photoshop, I was talking to one of my co-workers today, and you guys know that I personally have not been doing Photoshop long at all. I really first started, my first time even trying to work in Photoshop was back in, I didn't take those holes, was back in March, I think it was. And, but, you know, when everybody's seen my tutorials, they're like, oh, we need some more tutorials. And what that has done is it has pushed me to dive deeper into Photoshop so that I can learn more, so that I can teach you guys more. So yes, my Photoshop tutorials are, you know, from what I hear, are helping you guys. But I have to be honest and tell you that my Photoshop tutorials that is helping you guys is probably helping me more, because you guys are not letting me sit and get stagnant and get comfortable. about the time I think I would be like, okay, I know enough about Photoshop now that I can, make a mess of something and I can design a few papers on it and I'm good. And then one of you will ask me a question that I don't know and I'm like, and so then I have to research and figure out what the answer is to that question. And I am not going to just find out the answer to the question. I want to know why that answer is that answer. So it is definitely helping me tremendously. So thank you all for helping me and allowing me to help you guys in the process. And you can see once and I mean, getting to this point doesn't take long at all either. And I wish I had, which I do have a video, and I will try to remember to link it below. If I don't, it is in my videos, but I show you how to do one of these from start to finish. And see, just like that, we already have, it's a journal already. So now we just need to figure out, Lord, these dogs. I am probably going to go ahead and call this video down so that the dogs do not carry on. And yeah, so I will come back on with another video and do a flip through showing you what all I've done. But thank you guys so much for watching,